Hello and welcome to Module 6. This is where we're going to learn about tuples, lists, dictionaries, and sets. Basically, this is going to be, we're going to learn how Python handles what we would kind of bend into a common term of lists. But we're going to learn how Python deals with different types of lists differently and has different names for them. So as you scroll down here, you'll see your objectives for this particular module, learning that what the difference between mutable and immutable is, about how Python indexes its lists and its tuples and its sets, and then also learning about how we can add to lists, take away from lists, and then we're going to practice building all of these things. We're going to build lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets, and you're going to get lots of practice at using those. So as usual, you'll see down here your learning resources. You need to have Canvas. You also need to have your textbook. Please create a Module 6 folder on your computer and then go ahead and click Next. And I'm just going to go through here and land on each page so you can get a brief introduction. We are going to revisit the concept of variables because it becomes important with our dealings with lists. You're going to get introduced to all of the first three here: lists, tuples, and dictionaries. Sets will come a little bit later in the module. The first you're going to learn about is tuples. The big thing about tuples is that they cannot be changed. Once you create them, that's what it is. And what that is in terms of coding is that's called immutable. So in programming language, we call that immutable, meaning not editable. So you have a couple of activities here where you're going to play with idle shell and create some tuples of your own. We're going to talk about indexing. The key here is that Python starts indexing, counting things, starting at 0. So if you have experience with other programming languages, like for example R actually starts indexing things with 1. So that's important to remember. Python starts indexing things with 0, and so does ArcGIS. ArcGIS, you'll notice when you have your data sets and you have that feature ID, that FID or that OID field in your data, that's why it always starts with 0, because it's indexing things and counting things starting with the number 0. You're going to go through here, go through a couple more activities, practicing with these tuples. And then we're going to get to lists. Lists are actually going to become the most important thing out of this list of things, out of tuples, lists, dictionaries, and sets. Lists will transcend our semester, and we'll play with them a lot in the second half and with our GIS data. The difference here is that lists are what we call mutable, meaning they can be edited, meaning you can add things to them and take away things from them. And that's what you're going to learn to do on this 6.3 section here. And you're going to move on and you're going to learn about dictionaries. Dictionaries are different in that they are not indexed with numbers, but they have key items. So that you look things up based upon a key item. So we're going to go through here and you'll learn and become very familiar with what a dictionary is and how it works. Beyond this, we won't work much with dictionaries, but it's important to understand. Then we're going to learn about sets. Sets, I'm going to send you to your textbook. He does an excellent job of explaining sets. So you need to just go to your textbook there. And then you are going to end this particular module by taking a quiz. The quiz will go over all of the pages plus that book chapter that I mentioned you needed to read. And then you'll find that you're at the end of Module 6 having a good understanding of your tuples, your lists, your dictionaries, and your sets.